Hello, callers. Welcome to Viva Barca and welcome back to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest transfer stories. We start with Marcelo Brozovic, as Barca are currently considering the 30-year-old midfield target almost lost amid strong links to Saudi Arabia. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Secondly, talking about Nico Gonzalez, as it has been reported that manager Xavi does not see the 21-year-old Barca young star as a pivot midfielder. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the stories in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Barcelona have all but accepted defeat in their pursuit of Inter Milan midfielder Marcelo Brozovic, according to a new report from Adrian Sanchez. Over the past few hours, there have been a lot of developments with regards to Brozovic's future, despite Barca's strong interest in the 30-year-old. Saudi Arabian giants Al Nassr have moved into pole position to sign him up. In fact, reports in Italy suggest that Inter Milan and the Middle Eastern outfit have already reached an agreement worth 23 million euros for the transfer of the Croatian international. He will also be offered a lucrative 3-year contract worth around 20 million euros per season. Despite this, Barcelona were said to be trying everything possible to sign Brozovic. The La Liga champions had not given up their pursuit of the Inter Milan ace in the hope of changing his mind at the last minute. But as per the latest update from Adrian Sanchez, Barca consider Brozovic almost lost and realized that a transfer at this moment is very difficult. Despite that though, with the player yet to give a firm okay, there is room until tomorrow or Tuesday to learn about Brozovic's concrete decision. It does leave the Catalans with a glimmer of hope to convince him otherwise. However, our Nash are confident of getting the deal across the line tomorrow, with the players' camp also looking at the operation favorably as per Fabrizio Romano. So, as it appears, Barcelona will miss out on their key pivot midfield target in the form of Brozovic, forcing them to look at other possible low-cost options such as Dani Parejo and Oriol Romeo. Of course, I was seeing this coming after there was a lot of talk about Al Nassr closing in on a deal for Marcelo Brozovic. There's no chance for Barca to overcome that. And as it is reported, despite Barca's efforts to get the player, it looks as though Al Nassr remains the firm favorite to sign the player up. After long interest in Marcelo Brozovic, Barca looks set to lose him as they have finally accepted defeat. Of course, this is not strange for us Barca fans who have been seeing uncountable transfer stories where Barca keep showing interest, keep talking more than any other interested party until at the last day they lost the player to another club. And this is now just a trend. It is not something so new for us, isn't it? So, as it stands right now, Barca have no choice than to look elsewhere for a potential replacement for Sergio Busquets in that pivot position. And of course, this is, I think, the fourth player that Barca have lost, all because of one reason or the other, either financially or stuff like that. You know, Joshua Kimmich, Martin Zubimendi, Sofian Amrabat are now talking about Brozovic, all lost because of mainly finances. And it's going to be a big issue for us. So far, Xavi's top priority has still not yet been reached, as of course it is clear that the top priority is to look for a new defensive midfielder, and it is really sad that up to now Barca are not sure of who is to be their next pivot in that Busquets role. Brozovic was looking like a likely choice. Barca were trying to push and push until they saw that the player was more inclined to move into Saudi Arabia, because normally Al Nassr will have a better offer than us. They offered him a 20 million euro per season and they bought him for 23 million euros, even though Inter Milan were valuing him at 25 million euros. So Barca have no choice but to start looking for other options. As to who would they look now for possible replacements for Busquets? Well, I've been talking about this player Oriol Romeo from Girona and also Dani Parejo from Villarreal as possible options that Barca want to go for. And honestly, it's not even the best alternative to me because those players are already above 30. Oriol Romeo is 31. Dani Parejo is 34 years old, for crying out loud. And looking at the fact that all because of finances, Barca can't go for a valuable option to replace Busquets. I just hope that it shouldn't come and haunt us for next season because we are not just looking for a replacement because we want to look for a replacement. We're looking for a proper replacement for Busquets, who is effective, who is good, who is really, who is skilled. And honestly, if we're just looking for any player because we are so desperate, then we might regret it next season. Hopefully, we don't. Then moving on to the final story of discussion. Nico Gonzalez is one of many Barcelona players set to return to the club this summer following the end of his respective loan spell at Valencia. The young midfielder is coming on the back of a mixed campaign at Valencia, where his progress was marred by injuries. The youngster had initially joined the club to gain more game time, but he ended the campaign racking up only 18 starts in the league. Nico's services will not be retained by Valencia, and the player is now set to return to the Camp Nou. There have been suggestions he might be sent out on loan again, but at the same time, many have also considered him as a potential option in the defensive midfield position, following the departure of Sergio Busquets, who has now joined Inter Miami. Barcelona are in desperate need for reinforcements in midfield. Although they have reportedly roped in Ilkay Gundogan, the club require a younger option who can be groomed well. However, according to Gerard Romero, Barcelona coach Xavi Hernandez is not too keen to the idea of Nico playing as a pivot. Although he has openly admired the player in the past, he simply does not see him in that defensive midfield position. There are even reports that claim Nico Gonzalez has not been included in Xavi's plans for the next season. As a result, Barca are reportedly looking to send him out on another loan, with two clubs already interested in his services. A loan move elsewhere does indeed make sense for Nico, as the 21-year-old is yet to establish himself as a star in La Liga. The young star certainly requires more experience before he can prove himself to be a reliable option for Xavi. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please endeavor to hit the subscribe button so you always stay up to date with everything Barcelona here on Viva Barca. Until next time, bye bye.